I believe every day's a good day when you
Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? Welcome in. JD Hetzer, thank you so much for the sub, man. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good summer. Alright, what's everybody been up to? What you guys' weekend been? We are doing I'm doing not much. We're gonna talk and rant about all the Horus Heresy stuff, all the leaks and drama and arguments and meltdowns and salt and everything else. Doing well, yeah. Painting Family's doing really well. Painting Wife is sitting behind me gaming right now.
Testing some motion sickness stuff.
Oh yeah, she's testing on motion sickness medicine.
Ear patches.
Oh, an ear patch, trippy. Okay.
I know.
All right, yeah, all right. So he's doing that kind of stuff.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
Hey, Raja, welcome. Thank you for the sub, by the way. Welcome in. Yeah, so we're just chilling. It's been a good weekend. What do you even do? Man, I made lunch today. Oh my gosh, I haven't eaten since lunch. I haven't been hungry. It was so good. It's our meal prep for this week, so I'm really excited. I played a game of Horus Heresy today. What else? Oh yeah, hey, Big Papa's here. How you doing, Big Papa? I don't know, any questions to ask Painting Wife? What was your thing?
What?
Oh, she's sorry.
You're fine.
She's in the middle of hopefully not dying in Fortnite. T-Slayer, what's up? What's going on?
It's fine.
Yeah, we're just chilling. I want to tell you guys, I'm not gonna paint. Not painting this evening.
Just talking.
Just talking. That's it. It's the fireside chat. Painting Dad. Fireside chat. She's Pernonin noobs. Yep, that's what she's doing. Yep, painting wise for Pernonin noobs. Oh, I got a way belt to Loda.
Yeah.
She just finished reading Project Hail Mary. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
She just finished
snap,
reading
there was
that,
someone
but-
else there.
Oh,
Sorry.
lame.
Sorry.
Okay.
But what was it? Was it the Children of Time trilogy? Isn't that what we was talking to Big Papa?
Children of Time. I don't know. Did you read Children of Time, Big Papa? What was that? Why am I awake? No, why are you awake? Wondering, Big. Go to bed. Welcome in though. Thanks for chilling. I don't know if anybody here has been following the Heresy stuff. I don't know if a lot of you guys play Heresy that are in here right now, but I just wanted to rant about it because I have a platform and I can do that. So, what? Adrian Traksofsky?
Oh.
Is that?
Adrian Tchaikovsky.
Yeah,
Is
Tchaikovsky. Yeah, he's spelling this name. Yeah, that name. Yeah, he did say possible spelling. Yeah, but I do have some minis to show off. We can talk about Heresy stuff, but I finished my my little mini tanks, my little rapier batteries here. Some of the weathering powder is a little too heavy on them. You can see where the stuff is. Hey Zen, what's going on? Yeah, like you said, yeah, Adrian Tchaikovsky, yeah, yep. So these are magnetized, but look how adorable they are. Look at the little tank. And these are magnetized. It's been drama around Heresy. Yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about Reginald. That's what we're going to do. We're going to chat about the drama. So they're really tight fit. I probably should shave these down, but it doesn't matter. If it pulls this paint off, that's no problem, because no one's ever going to see that. I can just shave that off right now. It's all varnished, but eventually it'll fit in really easily. I did use these this evening. I played a game. These did nothing. I think they literally did nothing. I don't think they killed one guy. So, yeah, whatever. They were I don't know, 40, 80 points, something like that. These are the crew that I have for these. I really like the crew minis. I like these minis anyway. They're really cool. But, yeah, this was like serious new paint. Dude, my whole army was new painted model syndrome tonight. It was wild. I had some terrible luck. Let me explain this. 1,000 Suns. They're all psychers. I have a chaplain. Alright, chaplain's leadership 10. I rolled 2 dice. I need to get equal to or under my leadership to use a psychic power. Alright, so a 10 or under on 2 dice. Happens most of the time, right? No, it's not a 3 in 36. What is that, a 1 in 12 chance of failure or something? It was a 5 out of 7 is what I failed. I failed 5 out of 7 psychic and morale checks on my chaplain. It was a 2.0 game. Bicycles, yeah, it was a 2.0 game. But yeah, my chaplain, he failed. He rolled an 11 5 times. Yeah, I don't know. I was rolling the dice wrong. It was insane. And he was the one who was like linchpin of like things that were supposed to happen. And he just straight up just fails every time. He got 2 psychic powers off, and then like he got charged in combat and lost by 1. Doesn't matter because he's leadership 10, so I just rolled his leadership. Doesn't matter what you lose by combat. He rolled an 11 anyway. And he ran. And I was like, well, he got away. Good for him. Next turn, he rallied. And I was like, cool, I'm just going to launch a psychic power at someone. It's a long shot, but I'll try to like pin a unit at the very end of the game. I failed, and he perils and killed himself. Like that's what happened. That's how he died. He exploded half his squad's head, and he exploded his own head after that. He probably killed more miniatures than any single person in the game, honestly. I think he may have killed more than anybody, and they were all his own men. Yeah, it was crazy. What's up, Avelios? How you guys doing? Yeah, so I got the crew here. I finished these up on the bases. I love these crew minis, and I'm really excited to use them in 3.0 as like the command and control squad. They have unique rules for just bringing these 4 guys that are really cool, so I'm excited to mess around with that. But cool stuff. These minis look great. These literally did not kill 1 model. They threw 2 large blasts a turn. They killed nothing. So that's fine. I should have got the heavy bolter ones. Next time I'll take the lasers. I have the lasers here, and I'll show you guys here. Let's Let's pop them off. I'll show you these. Hope you guys are ready. We're gonna rant about new stuff. That's what we're gonna do. So get ready. They did look cool. Yeah, that's what matters. That's what matters. Okay, there's that little piece, and then big gun here. So there we go. Say change them up. Cool magnets. Pretty difficult to magnetize, but I'll probably shave some things on the next ones, and yeah, I definitely learned a lot messing with these, so we'll do that. The last guy here is like kneeling, pointing is really cool. You printed the dragon painting wife wanted, and the chainmail stuff. Oh, cool. All right. It's addicting to play with the chainmail, like fidget toy.
Gosh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, sweet. Nice. We need to make a suit out of it. What's that?
So you gotta help me paint a dragon.
All right, you gotta paint a dragon. I'll teach you how to paint a dragon. But yeah. So, the game was a lot of fun. Lost. It's all right. My Thousand Sons aren't thinking about second edition anymore. They don't care. They're all in third edition. So they're just making their heads explode and everything. They don't understand. Yeah. So, you guys want to talk about all the heresy stuff? You want to talk about that? Spill Paint Pot, what's up? All the leaks and the drama around heresy. Who wants to rant about this and argue about it? Because I do. I know. Look at the little adorable tanks. I know. Aren't they great? Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to buy more of these. I think I will always get approval from the painting wife to spend money on these.
That's not.
It's 100% true. She's nodding her head yes. She's really excited about it. So I think I need to get more rapier batteries. Come to your Horus Heresy stuff. There's so much negativity going on. Yeah. Don't man. People are crazy. All right. We're talking about this. So I have. Obviously, everybody has a lot of opinions on this, and I don't want to say anyone's opinion's wrong. It's okay to be upset about the game. It's okay to be like, I see in the main rulebook that my rules aren't there and it's lame. It's okay to be like, GW's only putting stuff that they sell in the, it's like they're putting just the stuff they sell in the Libers, and that's, it's not okay. Where's my customization? That's fine. We all like that part about, Shadow Mail. Thanks, Classic Gary. All right. Yeah, it's funny because I see so many people talking about how the 3.0 core rules are great, but it's the Libers that really bombed. And I kind of think I really do think they spent the past 3 years, they just forgot about 2.0. They just left. They released 3.0 books haphazardly. They put it out, and they're like, all right, let's make the game we really want to make. And 3.0 had all the things they really wanted in a game. They had the thematic narrative things. They had it's relatively more evened out, no rerolls, all these little things that you can see that they wanted to be in the game. It seems like the Libers that they were someone told them 6 months ago that hey, we need to print all the Libers for all the armies. You guys need to write these. GW's you guys have to write these so we can release them. They're what? It's coming out this soon? And so then they hurried up, and in a month they wrote the books to get them to the printer. And it's the Libers are riddled with typos and things forgotten. And I think that there are more typos in that Liber than people are even considering at this moment. I would not be surprised if some of the missing units were typos. Holy cow, is that mini wargaming, Josh? Dude, I was watching your guys' video last night. I was listening on your video while I was finishing my rapiers. What's up, Josh? How you doing? Yep. So, spending money, GW money on it's annoying, it doesn't have polish. Yeah, I think any of us that have been playing a GW game for more than 5 years understands how GW publishes their rulebooks, though, right? That's game. I've been playing Games Workshop games for 25 years, and I can pull out any book off my shelf that's a rulebook, and they're all they're all riddled with typos and weird mistakes and stuff. That's just how it is. I remember Warhammer Fantasy. I got into Dark Elves, and I was like, man, Dark Elves is so cool. It has chainmail, and I know I'm super old, Hetzer. Yeah. This is geriatric Twitch. If you're not familiar, it's all the old people on Twitch. So, yeah. That's why we talk about Heresy, because we're a bunch of old people. So, yeah, thank you for the sub, Josh. I appreciate it, man. And feel free to insert any of your takes. I know you just had like your time, putting all your takes into this, but I remember that Dark Elf book. It was so bad and riddled with like typos and errors and like rushed out that they released I think it was in a White Dwarf. They literally had a White Dwarf issue dedicated to an errata for just that Dark Elf Army book. And I remember as I was 12 or 13 or something, and maybe a little older, but I remember I took a pen and I was like crossing out stats and points and everything on my Dark Elves, and like, oh sweet, look, oh, my army's so good now, and just going through like, oh, my warriors are only like 7 points a model instead of 9 or whatever. And it was the weirdest thing. I've never seen GW do that with rules where they like dedicate a whole thing. Or you think about like the Old World is another good example that came out just last year, and that book had a lot of issues. It's a great game, it's a lot of fun, but like they had so many issues, and I think they went for like full rule of cool when they wrote the book, and then people just exploit it, and then they have to like kind of backstep a little bit. Fortunately, like they did that with Old World. They never did that with 2.0 Heresy. So no, yeah, they absolutely, no one, Big Pop, and no one will disagree with you that GW should have better quality control. There's no excuse for it. Yeah, them leaving out possible units out of the Liber on accident. I'm tending to believe that they just forgot about destroyers. They forgot they were a unit when they were making like putting all the units in their rulebook, and now they have to like backstep that somehow. Nostalgia being a good indicator, yeah. Yeah, Ninja Turtles are great, dude. Nemesis, welcome in. Yeah, so I think the Libers were rushed or something. There's something that was like off about the Libers that like I don't know. I am, for the most part, more hopeful for the edition. I like the rules. They look cool. I have some like gripes about the core rules and stuff. Like I think the cover should be more granular. I don't mind getting away from like True Line of Sight, because I was never a big fan of True Line of Sight, but I think they're way too restrictive with like having 3 different kinds of terrain. What's up, Frankie Fingers? Welcome in. So hopefully they end up putting more granularity into like some certain things and expanding on it. But yeah, and mind you, I don't have an actual rule book, so I'm not one of the blessed few that got all the early stuff. So I'm going on leaks here. So there's no, if there's other things in this book that I'm missing, I could be absolutely missing stuff. So if that's take that with what you will. As a Thousand Suns player and like Heresy or Auxilia being like my secondary army, I'm really excited for the rules, because I think Thousand Suns got the best glow up of like anybody, and then Auxilia seem like they're gonna be like pretty good. Like they're actually can actually like roll with the other factions. The Mechanicum seem really good from what I've seen. Yeah, I've lost some options. Some units that I lost were never in the Liber. And if I'm thinking about it, I think Thousand Suns actually, as far as the Liber is concerned, did not lose any units or characters, and I actually gained a character. Here, adding for the oldness, yeah. Well, welcome in. Yep, let's kick the average age up of our viewership. So, yeah, because I gained a character, but I didn't lose any basic units. There's still units that were in legacies, like the Amatara cult. There's was the Numerologist, but he was later in a PDF that came out, and I think that's about it for Thousand Suns. So I assume that stuff's going to be in a legacy document. I think so. Knights look so cool. I haven't looked at Knights super well, but I'm not too familiar with the Knight rules anyway. Yeah, hopefully the Custodies are really cool. Because I typically despise Custodies, just as like a general principle. But I hope they're like fun to play against and like interactive and everything, and not just like, oh god, run away from them before they get to you kind of thing. Maybe they will be. I don't know. Fulton, welcome in. Same with the Knights. Like, I hope the Knights are really fun to play against, and it's not like I know they were really bad in 2.0, so hopefully they're a lot more balanced out and like fun, and there's like good interaction is what's important with that. Like, it's not, you don't feel bad playing against Knights because you don't have enough anti-tank or whatever. So yeah, the game looks way more balanced at like a first glance. Chaos Knights are broken. In 40k they are? Really? I don't track everything you're talking about. What's the term using Liber? The Libers are like the rule books, like the army books. So they have Libers for they have 5 Libers that came out. There's like Liber Astartes is like the Loyalist Space Marines Legions. The Liber Hereticus is the Traitor Space Marine Legions. Liber Auxilia is the Solar Auxilia, so on. They just call them Libers. They're disgusting. Oh, okay. I haven't followed 40k meta in, I don't know, a year maybe. This little pink guy, I love that. Oh my gosh. Kind of like a Codex, but yeah, some of them more Codex, but the Libers are like all the Loyalist Legion. Yeah, Codex is a good way to describe it though. It's just like a Codex for 9 armies. Yeah. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a point where everybody's just putting all their faith in the legacy document, and I don't know if that'll have everything people want. You know? I can see stuff like Centurions on bikes, Centurions and Praetors on bikes. That seems reasonable. Destroyers putting back in, that seems reasonable. I don't know how many special units will be in. I could see like Indominus Terminators and Castaferum Dreadnoughts and units for the Solar Auxilia they lost, like the Carnodon and the Aurochs and they lost Tarantulas also. Like those kind of things will be in. Things I want to be in are like, I want them just to have like a section and it's just consulars can take, and it's just officer war gear. Boom. Like all these consulars can just take officer war gear. And I think that would fix a lot of people's complaints about the game. But, you know, I don't know who's out there setting fire to their armies or whatever people do when they're mad at Games Workshop. Now you can pick up and place back in reserve. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Can't do that in 30k though. At least I don't think you can. That'd be crazy if you could do that. But I do honestly think I was listening to someone talk about this, and I think I agree with them, and I think it makes sense, where, look, a couple things on this. First of all, Games Workshop is not catering to people that already own 10,000 points of minis. Alright? So, you're not the target audience for them to release a product, right? Or like new books, or like a new edition and new sets. Because you already own all this stuff, and you might buy stuff here and there, but you're not going all in buying some people, not as many, a lower ratio of people who already own this stuff are going in all in, like buying all this stuff. You're normally buying, things here and there and everything. In the legacy unit for the Thousand Sons, yeah, they'll probably be in the legacy document. The Amatara cult, yeah, the snipers, that'll be really cool. Thousand Sons units are really good. Thousand Sons are looking really good and really interesting, and yeah, if they improve on that with the sniper unit, I don't know what they can do to make them even better. But yeah, I can already make my snipers have all the cool rules and basically make my own Amantara. But understanding that the veteran players, like the people like me and like a lot of like you guys who already have these huge armies, like you're not the target audience for like a new edition release. And the big set and all the all this stuff. The legacy documents, the PDFs are for you. All the stuff that's like, hey, here's all the other things. They wiped you in turn 1. Dang, man, you gotta get in cover. What are you doing? That's not even the Thousand Suns fault. It's your fault if you get wiped. If you get tabled on turn 1. The other thing is, like, with that idea that they're targeting like newer players. It's a real. I think it's a real. Yeah, I'm ranting on synthwave. It's great. Thanks, Sin. I don't know what other music to play, man. What am I gonna play while I rant? The other thing, when you look at like the Liber books, so the codexes or whatever for the armies in 30K, Games Workshop, when you have a product, you don't want to sell miniatures, or you don't want to sell a book that has models that people can't get, right? For a couple reasons. The first one is blatant greed, right? It's a corporation. Corporations exist to make money. That is it. You know, they don't. Games Workshop doesn't make games. They don't make miniatures. They make money. That's their entire goal. So, if you're making rules for models you sell, then you're going to sell those models. If you're making rules for weird and wacky vehicles and units that aren't for sale from GW, people are going to 3D print their own or find a way to get it, right? That doesn't go through the process of let's go to a Warhammer store and buy the miniature. Obviously, that's a problem for a lot of people, and that's like not like what's been typical for Heresy. Heresy is a very like hobby friendly game, and like customizing and like doing your own things, making your own characters and all of that. But if you look at it from like not just they need more money now all the time kind of angle, if you look at it from like a, hey, we're making a game and we're trying to make it a big game, having people open a book and be like, wow, that unit's really cool and I want that unit, where do I get it? That's kind of a bad look on the game in a way, right? Like there's like negativity that comes with that from new players. Older players, people that know what's going on, no problem, right? They're like, oh yeah, you get it this way, you buy it here, you print it here, you do this, you make this. But when it's a newer player, who again are the people that are spending most of the money, right? More money at once. When they see units they can't buy, it's like not a good look on Games Workshop. So I think there's probably an upper management decision on that, probably not the game designers themselves. But I hope, if the old world is any indication of recent like specialist design studio, I hope the legacy document is more of like the designers kind of throwing a bone to the, you know, the veterans and the people that have all these cool minis and all these cool designs and everything. It's like, yeah, hey, these aren't for sale. This isn't like supported, quote unquote, but here, have your things. You know, you got your things. Yeah, that's a lot of it. I saw people complaining that they didn't have units in Liber that were from the previous legacy document. I thought it was just ridiculous. Like, some people are going way too far with it. I'm looking forward to journals, the journal tacticas that are coming out, which are like mini books. If you guys are familiar with the arcane journals for the old world, they're like mini codexes basically. And the first one will be coming out in 2 weeks, with the launch of the game, and it's just a generic like campaign, like mini campaign book with some extra units, some extra rules and everything. I'm getting into journaling. Yeah, I am. Yep. If I wasn't already. But I hope those come out frequently. People seem to be really mad, like, yeah, paid DLC. Like, that's Games Workshop, right? Like, yeah, you got your, like, every edition release, it's like new codexes, and people aren't happy about it, but they buy it, right? Or you get the rules for it if you don't buy it. You know, there are ways to get the rules out of it without buying the thing. Nobody at a tournament is going to make sure you have the proper journal to have the proper rule for the unit you're playing. What? Oh my gosh. That's funny. You're messing with your Bellicor. They just deleted Bellicor. Shouldn't have died turn 1, dude. Still think it's your fault. But yeah, I hope the journals come out frequently. I hope there's a bunch of them. I hope they get Legion-specific journals soon, and I hope that means plastic releases for Legions coming out and all those options. And again, it's not a paid DLC if you can get the rules free online. We all have access to New Recruit. Right, yeah, back in the day before you had the internet with just all the information on it for all your books and everything, you did have to carry on all these books and buy all these books. And I don't remember people complaining about it as much, but also the books were a lot less frequent. There might be a new codex or army book that comes out every other month, and so you might get 3, maybe 4 codexes for 40k in a year. Like 4 was a really good year. We're on turn 2. Okay. Senior high school taking AP classes. Yeah. The day 1 journal's kind of in bad taste. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm gonna get it. I'm sorry. I'm just curious what it's like. They did say, they made it a point, you don't need to buy all the journals. There's going to be faction-specific ones and all this stuff. And again, if you just want the rules out of it, don't bother. You don't have to have any of the rule books to get the rules here. And, and probably 4 weeks from now, all the rules will be online and in Army Builders. You don't have to buy it. So, I don't own the Liber Imperium, but I've played Solar Auxilia. I have all the rules. I have access to it. Sometimes when I print my army list on New Recruit, it's like a 19-page print, so I feel like I print a book every time anyway. That's the thing, like, they want to release journals, they feel like that's a good and profitable thing, they can do that. It's in bad taste, sure, day 1 DLC, right, but you don't have to buy it. Nobody has to buy it, it's not changing. There's no like broken units that it's adding to the game. I don't know, maybe the command and control squad's broken, who knows, but you can still field those. You don't have to buy the book to field those, right? Look, I have them. Boom, they're right here. Command and control squad. I don't have the book. Oh yeah, they just jumped you then, didn't they, Nemesis? That's too bad. Oh well. Hopefully they're fun opponents and you had a good time. Matters. But yeah, it's crazy how much people are freaking out. I don't think it's that bad. I think there's portions of it, like, things are justified. It's fine. You gotta protect the shareholders, right? And if that means selling $25 mini books with a couple unit rules and stuff in them, then that's that, right? But you think if you have like Legion books, say you have a Legion journal, all right, Thousand Suns journal, because I play Thousand Suns. What would it be in a Thousand Suns journal? So 3 new units. Okay, cool. We got 3. We can figure out 3 units. Numerologist. I don't know. Keenan with jump packs. Who knows? I don't know what the other Thousand Suns units. They have 3 new units in there. And like 2 Rites of War if the Arcane Journals are anything to go by. So 2 new ways to play your army, which would bring me up to more Rites of War as a Thousand Suns player in 3.0 than I had in 2.0. Because in 2.0, most Legions got their Liber and they were forgotten about the rest of the edition. You got Inductii with Siege of Cathonia, and that was it. With this, there's at least the expectation or the hope that you will get a source that has your rules in it and updated rules for your Legion. Like additive rules, not replacing, I hope is the idea. And you're not buying a $60 book to do it. I'm not buying a giant campaign book like Siege of Cathonia so I can have the what was it, half a page for the Inductii rules for my Thousand Suns Inductii rules. Like that was what that book was for. I'd rather buy a $28 book with my whole faction in there that maybe coincides with plastic minis and upgrade sets and stuff. that we know is coming because they've said they're coming. So, Inductii are coming back in August or September. Inductii rules are a free PDF that are coming out. So, also, what's up, Savvy? Yeah, they have already said Inductii. Let's see. They have the... they released a... what do you call that? A roadmap. And I hope they follow the roadmap. That'd be cool. Okay. It's a digital download roadmap. So July will be the Legacy PDF. And the Talons of the Emperor will get like an index-free army list. That's the Custodes and Sisters of Silence, essentially. Maybe Assassins and stuff like that. August will be Militia Imperialis. Yes, my militia. Get some rules. So hopefully those are good. It's a free list. These are all free things. Yeah, all free things. September will be the Demons of the Ruin Storm and Legion Inductii. So the Inductii will be September along with Demons of the Ruin Storm. October will be Black Shields and Shattered Legions. So specific rules for Shattered Legions, not just like using allied detachments and stuff, which is great. And then Black Shields are wild. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Black Shield rules from like 2.0, I'm sure 1.0 are crazy too. Yeah, they're, the Black Shields are crazy. Yeah, the auxiliary rules are from Beta Garmin, right? And they were always difficult to find. Yeah, the Raw Mechanics New Edition don't seem interesting. Okay. That's totally cool. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Is what it is. Well, just to finish out, November is Zone Mortalis rules. So Zone Mortalis rules will also be free, which were in a campaign book. So Black Shield, Shattered Legion, Zone Mortalis, and Inductii, all of those things were paid before, and they're going to be free PDFs. That's awesome. So, we talk about paid DLC. They are giving us, like, stuff on the outset for free that's not in campaign books, which is also makes me more hopeful for the actual campaign journals, because these are things that would be in the big campaign books and everything from like 2.0. So that means it's more stuff coming in the other journals. So that's nice. Yeah, ultimately, yeah. What's up, Sector? Because ultimately, if you don't like the rules, they don't seem interesting. That's fine. I know there are a lot of people in our local group that are like, I'm going to play 1.0 and I'm going to play 2.0 and that's it. Why do you think they decided to remove legacy equipment rules to be more like 10th edition? Wasn't that? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was just talking about Taxi, like why, and I think it's a lot of like, yeah, I mean it's corporate greed, honestly. Like that's the ultimate answer. But there is like an expectation that it's new players getting into the game, and those new players, like, it can be kind of a bad look if you're like, oh cool, I want to give a chaplain a Thunderhammer. Where do I find a Thunderhammer? And like you can't find it, and so they go other places, and this whole thing. Not that I'm saying that it's not right. It's there's also a chance that there's an equipment options for all these consulars in the legacy PDF. There's a chance. I don't know, but there's a chance. Ultimately, what my local group decided was all of the consulars just have access to the officer equipment, the officer war gear section, and that fixes 95% of people's problems. One of our players, a Blood Angels player, all of his characters have jump packs. All the jump packs we see on characters are 20 points. So pay 20 points for your jump pack and give them the officer war gear. It's done. Like that's our solution to the whole consular thing. Like, it doesn't, and house rules aren't the answer to, whatever, like, corporate decisions or whatever, but we all did this in 2.0, right? All of us. I think everybody house ruled in 2.0. Every single person I know. Every person I know, we didn't bring the Fury of the Agents right of war. That wasn't a... Nobody touched it. I never saw it. Nobody went after it. We actually had... Velios knows what I'm talking about. We had some drama in our group because one guy came in from 40k, and he was in a league, and he started playing with like only the best stuff. People caught him out on it, and he got really upset about it. He ended up getting banned from the group, with a whole bunch of other stuff that happened from that. Yeah, so my local group and what I had seen from my local group and like the groups around my area, which you have a lot of people that play in my area. EO Grumpy, welcome in. We have a lot of people that play, and everything, it's always like, hey, let's play a narrative event. Let's have traitors versus loyalists. Let's bring cool stuff. Have your cool painted models. You know, like when we schedule games, you message the person, you kind of like ask, you know, like, hey, what kind of game you want to play, but also like, I'm thinking of bringing this strong thing. Is that okay? I just painted this model. Is that okay with you? Make sure you have something that can counter it. And people do that. But like, we're already doing that. It comes down to communication. You communicate with your opponent, right? If you're communicating with your opponent in a real way, it doesn't matter what Games Workshop is telling you can and can't do, right? Yeah, you do a themey list, yeah. I base mine on, let's see, it's painted models first. Like, what's a new model I painted? It goes in. What's something I haven't fielded in a while? That goes in. What can I take that, like, I know what my opponents, I have an idea of what my opponent will bring. What are things that I can leave out that would like cause my opponent to feel bad? You know, like, my opponent has an all deep strike army. I'm not putting augury scanners on everything to just intercept with all my units. You know, you don't do that. I'm not just bringing straight plasma with intercept just to melt everything that I know is going to deep strike on me. You know, my opponent's bringing all tank army. I'm not just bringing las cannons. That kind of stuff. Like, you kind of go through this process, and you work with your opponent to like have a cool game, right? Because ultimately we want to put our minis on the table and roll dice, and yeah, I try to make a generalist army. You know, I want to put my cool minis on the table. I spend a lot of time painting my minis. I put you know, I do like lots of magnets and stuff, so I'm like, you know, I magnetize all my stuff. I want to put my cool stuff on the table, and I want my opponent to have a fun time. Because I never want to be a person that someone plays and they like never want to play against me again. So, and I don't know if I've ever done that to anybody. I hope I haven't. I think I did that to someone in Star Wars Armada. I remember that guy. His name was Frank. No, yes, it was Frank. I've never met someone named Frank. And I think I ruined that guy's whole view of that game. But yeah. So, you know, people are going way too far. I think the internet has become too, like... Oh, that's true, Frankie Fingers. Yeah, is your real name Frank? I will accept I have met a second Frank if your real name is Frank. Also, if you guys are new here, I don't talk at a full volume in my night stream because my son's asleep right above my room right here. So, you can probably already hear everything I'm saying. I try to keep it a little quiet. Oh, Francis, okay. Do you go by Francis or do you go by Frank? I met a kid named Fred once, and he went by Davey, but I learned his name was Fred. And I thought it was the coolest thing. Like, dude, your name is Fred. This is awesome. I called him Fred. His dad heard me call him Fred and freaked out. He was like, you never call him Fred. Don't ever call him Fred. I was like, what? Like, it's his name. He's like, it's family name. He's Fred, you know, the third or whatever. Fred something the third. He's like, he doesn't go by Fred. Fred was totally cool with it. Like, he was all about it. But no, his dad was really mad about it. His name might not be Frank, but his fingers are. Yeah. You're a mechanic, so Frank. Okay, yeah, Frank works for a mechanic. Alright, Wandering Picked, if you're gonna go to bed, Sleep well. I'll see you soon. Yeah. Yeah, I played a game of Heresy tonight, and I was chatting with some guys at the local store about it. We had other people were playing and stuff, and I think we're all pretty much looking forward to it. Why do you know more than one person who goes by a completely different name than their government? What? What are you talking about? Not like their given name? Is that what you're talking about? I know multiple people. Is that like an uncommon thing around you, Zen? Oh, weird. Yeah. One of my brothers doesn't go by his like given name. Everybody calls him by his middle name. And he just has since he was a kid. Yeah, the only time we would hear his given name is when my mom was really mad. You know, she would call him first, middle, and last name. That's when you knew you were really in trouble. Zen's from Mexico, so yeah, maybe that's like a Mexican thing. I don't know, like a Hispanic thing, maybe. Yeah, Rant Street. What's up, Gosu? What's going on? Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. He's definitely not from Mexico. Have you tried writing a list with the new rules yet? See how much different it is in the last edition. I have not tried. I'm kind of intimidated. I am really excited about the list writing rules. I never played Legions Imperialis, but I like the idea of their list. We were talking about this a bit this evening, where it's cool. Like, there's so many options with the prime slots and stuff. Like, I have a goal of making a couple sergeants that'll be like veteran sergeants, and like making them look like aspiring sorcerers, right? So giving them robes and like cool staves and like giving them all the cool stuff. So I want to do those kind of things. But yeah, I think I don't know. It seems like it's gonna be a lot easier to get whatever you want in your list, obviously, than the last Force World chart, right? Like, I've been struggling being limited to 3 heavy support because I've been painting heavy support minis, and then like I can only take 3 of them. I took my Vindicator in one game and haven't used it since because it's cheap and I only have 1 of them, and I end up needing to fill points, and so I had to put more expensive vehicles, and it ends up being my Sicarans because I have 2 of them, so I put them in a squadron and it fills out 400 points or whatever. How do you add more detail to a model without overwhelming the primary scheme of the model? That's a good question, Bicycles. So yeah, I think finding like your primary and your secondary color is important. So you find colors that can kind of like complement each other, but then you got to focus on the main color, and then you do like smaller bits of the secondary color. I really don't like a scheme that's like 50-50, like it's half red, half white, or whatever. Like, if you do that, it looks messy, and it looks like I don't know, like juvenile, like a toy. Basically, it starts getting there. Like, there are obviously ways to do all of this stuff, and it looks good, but yeah, you really have to pick one color to be the primary, I think. And then your secondary, you pick spots like you kind of spread out the color a bit. So, you know, for example, like white's kind of a secondary color, which I have black on these too. But like, I did white on the bottom here, and then I did white on the gun casing. And I have, like, you know, some on the bottom and like the back portion, some more toward the front, and then the black breaks up some more on those. But then like these guys, you know, the white on the shoulders, they had weird shoulder pads. But I used some of the gold. I probably should have put gold on the knee pads and stuff. But yeah, you find those colors and find those parts, and, you know, like following guides and stuff. You're painting Space Marines. There's 8 billion guides for Space Marines out there for painting Space Marines. Like this guy's get the added white from the casing on his weapon. That helps break up the mini a little bit. The profiles on the Vindicator and Laser Destroyer look spicy. I'm not familiar with the Laser Destroyer profile, but Demolisher Cannons are insane. They're so good. Nicholas, 8 Lehmans and 3 Malgadors and the Infernus, yeah. The Mechanized is going to be so good. And I don't know. Mini Wargaming Josh, can you answer a question for me? I don't know if you can answer a question about the Solar Auxilia Liber. I need to know about the Infernus. Is it a Hellstorm template? And does it have Torrent? Is there a way to have Torrent, or do you just put the template on the front of the gun? If you can't answer these questions, that's okay. But you're off the clock here. We won't tell on you. Might take a few minutes. That's okay. Yes. Hey, Misfit. What's going on? Yeah, I need to know. I'm in like the Discord, and there's a guy from Goonhammer answering questions, but they're not like sharing pictures, right? Because I don't think you can share pictures. But it's miserable because people are just asking him questions, and then like 8 people are like, "What are the last rifle profiles? I need to know." Like every hour. Like I don't care about that. You want to know what's coming for Salamanders and Fists? Yeah, I think they'll announce the second journal on Friday. That's what I think is going to happen. And man, if they do a journal every month, I'm going to be pumped. That's, that's optimistic painting, Dad. It might be every other month. Every other month would be great too, but every month, ooh, that'd be so good. Every other month is probably what it's going to be. A couple Marine kits and a couple other things every month with the... if they did every month, they could do like a campaign journal, and then they could do like a faction journal, a Legion journal, or an Auxilia journal or something on the other month. Gives time to spread out the releases. Be good. Oh, you're talking about the 40K, the Space Marine 2.0 Codex. That's right. Yeah. It's damage 2. Okay. Is it range strength? Oh, the range strength. It's like heavy AP, right? I'm just curious about like the template that it has, and yeah, here we go. Oh, Josh is the man. There we go. We tell no one in this stream. There are 20 of you here. Oh, it's got the Hellstorm. Okay, so it doesn't have a torrent rule though, does it? You can talk about it. Oh, sweet. Okay. Because it seems like there's no torrent in the game then, like where you put the template out in front of you and you place it and angle it and stuff. Can you tell me points? How many points is it? It's my favorite tank in the whole game. Like the whole setting, the Malcador Infernus is my favorite tank. And I want to field them all the time. I put it in 2 games. I think it's killed a total of like 3 models in the 2 games I put it in 2.0. But it's so cool. It's not worth the 350 points that it is. And yeah, Solar Auxilia are going to be so good, guys. They're going to be so cool. They just seem so much more interesting. Yeah, ultimately, guys, if you don't like the rules, it's fine. You don't have to play it. We got people, it's, what, 205 points with the Hellstorm template? It's gonna slaughter Marines. Oh, I hope it does. No more Artificer armor on Sergeants. They can't just soak up all those wounds. That's wild. And if I'm not mistaken, they still work with the mechanized cohort that you can move 4 inches, and you can turn as much as you want. Doesn't count as moving, and still not count as moving. Which, wait, what do flare shields do? There's no flare shields in the Marine Codex. What does it do? What does it do? Yes, Sibelius. No, I'm buying the second. You can't. Evelios is our resident Solar Auxilia player. He's the reason why I couldn't find any Solar Auxilia on the shelf when they came out. Because he bought all of it. Whoa, no benefits from armor. Oh, okay. And it's still armor 13, right? That could be good. Okay, okay. You just, like, Meltaguns, just get wrecked. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay. I'm gonna tell you guys, this information is nowhere else. Just so you guys know. I'm about to... No, I won't. We are respecting Josh's integrity here. Yeah, is it just on the front? Or is it all over? If it's all over, that'd be cool. Like, you just negate Armor Bane. If it's on the front, it'd be really bad for Malcador, because it's like 2 inches wide. A weird World War One, the Mark IV tank, or whatever it is. That's crazy. That's so cool. Yeah, anyway, I'm excited for 3.0. I understand if people aren't. I'm more than happy to play 2.0 against people. I'm happy to play 1.0. People want to play that. We have people in our group that are doing that. But, I mean, there's one guy in our group that as soon as he heard 3rd edition, he's like, I'm going back to 1st. And we're like, ooh, it doesn't specify front. Oh, that's okay. That's good. That's really good. Just comes with a flare shield. So, can you give the tank commanders flare shields? If you don't mind me asking. I know I don't... you have the book in front of you, so I'm sure it's not that big of a deal. But if you don't mind flipping through. Because I feel like armor value 14 with a flare shield is insane. Okay, it can take... Okay, pay for the flare shield. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's only 205 points. Why wouldn't you pay for the flare shield, right? Huh. Yeah, there are a lot of free rules that are about to come out in the next couple weeks, guys, for Heresy, and I think there's gonna be a lot. I hope there's a bunch that makes people happy and kind of like alleviate some of the bad feelings that people have. And you know, I understand the whole like, why wouldn't they just give us indexes if they're going to release books later? They did the same for the Old World. I don't know if people in the Old World had such a bad opinion of the Forces of Fantasy and the Ravening Hordes book, knowing they were getting the journals. Oh my god, the command tank can take a flare shield. Oh, that's good. Armor 14 on the front, taking a flare shield. That means that command tank is immune to Melta, basically destroying it from the front. That's wild. Like Melta guns. People were freaking out about Melta guns being like the most broken thing. And we did the math here, didn't we, Evelios? We did the math on how many Melta guns it took to destroy a Lehman Russ. But if it has a flare shield on the command tank and they try to shoot it, it just... You're gonna stun it. And do all kinds of nonsense like that. You're gonna stun it like twice with a Meltagun squad. Yeah, I kind of agree, Big Papa. Yeah, the journals are nice. I haven't bought one journal for the Old World, and that's fine. I don't have to. My army's vampire counts. I got all the free rules. I never bought a Forces of Fantasy book or a Ravening Hordes book either, because I don't need them. I guess the magic items, but I don't need them. They're an army builders, so... Yeah, Armor Bane just means you auto-pin. That's all it is. Instead of glance, right? It's like 3rd line from 2nd edition. But if you can only glance, if a Meltagun can only glance the Lehman Russ in the front, like that's nasty. Like that's a good counter. Yeah, it's like it's situational, right? Like it's very situational, but the Armor Bane stuff is the stuff you... Yeah, like that. It's las cannons have Armor Bane also, but like it's, yeah, just shutting down their like that reduces the effectiveness of the las cannons by like 50%, and it wipes out melta guns on the front. Except I think multi-meltas are heavy range strength, so they get up to strength 9, which means they could pin, but still, that's brutal. Those are really good. Are they a lot of points? If it's like 50 points, maybe might be enough to reconsider, but man, that's cool. 20 points. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm gonna collect Auxilia. I'm gonna collect more Auxilia this edition. Yeah, 20 points an easy buy. Yeah. With the commander's rules, I read the commander like repair range is 18 inches at Velios. 18 inches for that 4-up repair. That is fair. That is fair, Velios. Yeah, you start taking flare shields and then everybody gets mad because they can't pin the armor. Because they're playing second edition into the 3rd edition list, right? When all their armor bane weapons are just glancing your tanks. It's fine. My yeah, like armored ceramite. Yeah, I played in a tournament. It was a 5th edition tournament way back when with my Dark Eldar, and I remember this guy showed up with the Black Templars army, and he had 2 Land Raider Achilles, which were they had the Thunderfire cannon in the front, like multi-meltas on the side, and they're armored ceramite. So they carry like 6 dudes. But they ignored Lance and Melta, I think is the rules they ignored. And my whole army was Dark Lances. And I remember him setting his army out and people commenting on how this dude was pay to win. I thought it was funny. The guy wrecked me because I couldn't scratch his tanks. I couldn't do anything against him. My highest strength weapon was strength 8. He just hard countered me. Oh, it was miserable. That's crazy. That's really cool that flare shields are still in, and they just straight took them from Space Marines because the Spartans can't get them, and the Kratos doesn't get them either. So, and I don't think the big Typhon or Cerberus has them either, because the Typhon does in 2nd edition. I think it comes baked in. The Typhon, which is kind of funny that it's modeled with it, but. What are you talking about, Sam? Get out of here, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Is that a drink that you ordered? Is that an anime horse girl? Is that what that is? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Dang. Okay. Yeah, that all sounds really good. Auxilia are going to be really fun to play against. I'm going to be excited to play against you, Velios. I will bring my Corvidae autocannons and make my Rending 5-up autocannons that have breaching 6. Just wreck everything. And then get roasted by a bunch of Infernus. A bunch of Malcadors. I'll be happy about that. Malcador Infernus are good, I'll be happy. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know, guys. Like I'm looking forward to it. I think people have calmed down a little bit, and I think the Legacy PDF will be a big thing. Anything else? Man, I want to know all of it. I want to know everything. What are some other things? Does the Valdor, does that get a flare shield as well? Okay, I can ask you yes or no questions or point questions. I don't know, Velios. What do you want to know? He's got the Solar book, dude. Have you played any games yet, Josh? I was listening in last night. You guys, I think you guys said you didn't play. I don't know if you played a game today or not, but. Oh, I got a question. Okay, Another one, no game chat. Okay, could you look up the Prospering Spire Guard and let me know, like, can you give me like a basic rundown of their rule, their reaction that they get? Because it's just advanced reaction that they get, right? The Legion's Auxilia. Yeah, I got nothing to paint, guys. I have plenty to paint, but Valor, yes on the flare shield. Okay. Marshal, same open warrior option, super customizable. Yeah, okay. That's a good question about the legate Marshal. Yeah, because it's not a commander. Guys, my son finished his mini. I varnished it. He doesn't want to put weathering powders, but this was a mini my son painted when he was 7. Tried to highlight the cloth, and just kind of done. But he painted everything on here. He painted. I didn't touch a thing. I thought he did really good with his golds and his silvers, breaking up the shield a bit. He did pretty good on his white here, and I airbrushed the red on him. But he painted the base the other day on stream with me, and I was really proud of his base. It fit in really well with mine. He did the base rims and everything. Yeah. So he's really excited. I told him if he finished painting this, I will bring it in a game. So, I don't know. Next Thousand Suns game I play, I will bring this dude, and he's probably gonna leg it around with the command squad with shields, so they all have shields. Yeah. So he's super proud. He's been all right. Yeah. I'll bring him against you, Safi. Yep. We'll get a game going once we figure it out. Yeah, I'm proud of his little mini. My son watches me paint Horus Heresy stuff, and he gets he's like super pumped. So he's like, I want to collect salamanders, and he'll read like my rule books and stuff. He'll like look through them and look at the pictures. It's like salamanders are his people. So he has a tactical squad that he painted. I 3D printed for him, and he painted. And because I cannot afford to collect 2 armies and assemble 2 armies. Like, I can't. He's only 8. He's not old enough to be dealing with like clippers and craft knives and stuff. But I printed him. He wanted a flamethrower squad, so I have a tactical support squad of flamethrowers I printed for him, and he's gonna paint those after I get them together. And then he has a rhino that Zendral painted for him, and so I'm gonna assemble. If they shoot you enough to cause a panic check, you can psi shock them. Well, doesn't that like is that like where it does like a perils on both units? Yeah, printed. Yeah, printed, not painted. Sorry. It's like double the cost. You know, it really isn't, Frankie Fingers. Warp Rupture. Okay, which is, hold on, we can, because that's one of the is that the wounds effect or the status effect? That's the question. Where's the psychic stuff? Because it's a perils, it's one of the perils effects, right? It's the Warp Rupture. So this one is, oh, that's really good. Okay, so Warp Rupture, you suffer damage equal to, it's the number of wounds, it's 13 minus your willpower. So, and that's no saves. You could take invulnerable saves, that's it. No damage mitigation. Or cover armor saves. So like a willpower 7 unit, like a tactical marine shoots the spire guard, you use that reaction and they just take 6 wounds. Just immediately with nothing but invuln saves against it. That's really good. Whoa, that's really cool. All right. So we figured this out, Frankie Fingers, with it might not be the case with 3.0, but 2.0, the Age of Darkness box, and if you can still find one, if this were a thing that you would have been interested in, if you bought that Age of Darkness box, that box was so clutch for being like just including like the perfect starter army. And you had everything you needed to have an army, and it was like a 2,000 point army out of the gate. A full game is 3,000 points, but 2,000 points for 300, I think 315 is the retail price now. 315 US dollars for 2,000 points of an army is an insane deal. I think the Age of Darkness box might have been one of the best like value boxes Games Workshop ever put out, even though it is like the most expensive, right? But Saturnine is sitting around 2,000 points as well. It's just a little more niche with the stuff it has in it, and there's fewer models. At this point with Heresy, you can probably not touch resin and be fine. You're going to be like kit bashing sets and everything. A lot of the like Legion specific units are resin at this point, but that's it. That's about it. Like there's a lot of like specialty units, like some tanks are still resin. There's a couple squads like recon marines are still resin and stuff, but you can make a fully functioning list completely plastic and be set and not be missing out as far as rules go. Yeah, Marshall looks like lots of options, but not sure how it looked before. Okay, is it just like a war gear section, Josh? Like just a like hey, you go to the like commander war gear section or something, or is it something different? Hobby HD, what's going on, man? I'm doing great. Hope you're having a good weekend. You were making awesome progress on your minis, by the way. Your Land Raider and Dreadnought look incredible. Yeah, great stuff. Oh man, yeah, that Dreadnought look, or the Land Raider looks so good. Okay, generic equipment list. Okay. So probably the options from the box, right? I would assume. Unless there's more typos. Who knows? Who knows how many typos are in this thing? Okay. Yeah, there's like a melee list for Auxilia. Okay. Sweet. Yeah, I might be allying in Auxilia more often. I love that you just straight up you just cause unsavable wounds on the unit when they shoot you. That's incredible. Okay, they have extra options. Yeah, okay. I was really scared it was gonna look off. No, they look so good. Yeah, guys, if you're in the Discord, if you go in the whips, the photo submissions, Hobby HD posted some of his salamanders he's been working on. It's his Contemptor Dreadnought and a Land Raider. Yeah, and Misfits got his World Eaters. Centurion or Praetor he's working on. I got Mechanicum from Cultured American he just posted a little bit ago. Oh, that looks so good. The bronze and green. Yeah, he's got the Thousand Suns transfers on him too, because he's doing what is that, Zarokod. It's awesome. Yeah, great stuff. You guys are posting all kinds of awesome minis and everything. It's great. Yeah, you guys post so many good minis. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, here's my my little rapier batteries. I'm still learning the weathering powders with like the dilution, like the like solution stuff that comes with them, and so I'm still trying to figure out like what's too strong or too weak. But there's the laser destroyer, and this is my quad mortar, and they're all magnetized. So I have the whole squad with what I want when I want it. Basically, I don't have the other set. I just have this one set right now, but I plan on getting the other set. Yeah, I love these. They're a little more time consuming to paint than I thought, but I also magnetize stuff, so that makes it more time consuming. But yeah, I got my crew here, so the crew look good. I didn't put any printed bits, no extra Thousand Suns specific things on them. I just did some transfers. I wanted to keep this squad kind of how they are because I really like the minis in this unit. Yeah, tanks and dreads are a lot of fun. To paint. How many cohorts are there in the new book? Yeah, and guys, if you don't know, Mini Wargaming Josh is in here. He's like the Heresy dude at Mini Wargaming, and he has he could answer some questions from the Solar Auxilia book he has on him right now, if you're interested. Which is one that has had no page leaks. He said if the typing's short, if we don't tattle on him, that's the deal. Yeah. Did they lose? I heard they lost their rotor cannons. They're just flamers on the one Velatari unit. But yeah, I like these rapiers. Yeah, I'm not painting tonight, guys. I'm just chatting about stuff. 6 cohorts. Oh man, the Prospering Spire Guard sounds so cool. I mean, they were really good in 2nd edition too, because they prevented my other stuff from dying, because they died instead. But yeah, cool stuff. I like these little rapiers. They're fun. I played a game tonight, guys. I used these in my game. I used the quad mortars, and they killed nothing. They fired every turn, and they did absolutely nothing. No. The army building seems a lot more complicated. Hobby ADHD. It's because you're working with small detachments, and you're trying to it's puzzle pieces fitting the different detachments to get what you want. There's no limits or required units that you have, but you have to unlock detachments. So there's kind of a flow to it. Keeping with themes and stuff, basically. What are you talking about, Misfit? I have no idea what that is. But yeah, the rapiers were cool, but no, they sat back. I should have just taken the laser destroyers. That would have been better. In probably every conceivable way. They would have actually done stuff, but they're also really short range. They don't have super crazy range, so it would have been front and center. Yeah, what are the other Velatari called? So, I read that the Solar Auxilia, their basic infantry. Oh, the Blood Angels cohorts. Okay, what are the Blood Angels? The Siphon Elevatii? Is that what they're called? That's a cool name, actually. But okay, yeah. So what's their reaction? The Legion Auxilia rules are just an advanced reaction that your cohort gets. That's all they are. They don't give you any extra crazy rules or anything. It's just a straight up advanced reaction. Just looking like heavy flamers. Oh, that's too bad. I think the rotors will be in the PDF. I can't see them taking rotors out. And they got to put out a plastic set, right, for that Velatari set with heavy flamers and rotors. It's a no-brainer. I love rotor cannons. Yeah, I do have all my minis with me. Since I brought these, I have. I don't show this off too much, but my Xiphon that I painted. Look at it. So transfers and stuff. This mini serves me well. This thing typically does a whole bunch of work. That's the base for it. So just weathering powders everywhere. Either exist in plastic, yeah. Yeah, so Josh, what are the Blood Angels cohorts reaction? No, okay. Here's the thing. A lot of the legions lost a lot of like flavor and everything in the new rules. Thousand Suns the Thousand Suns sucked in 2.0. Like their rules sucked. They didn't make sense. You had to interpret like most of the rules you had, it was like open to interpretation with how they worked. And the psychic rules were pretty bad. It was like, if you want to win, you take telepathy. Otherwise, like, you do like fun stuff that kind of works sometimes. It can do like gimmicky things. The 3.0 rules, Thousand Suns have 9 pages of just Legion rules, because every minor arcana that you can give every unit except vehicle. So my dreadnoughts can get the minor arcanas. They're full psychic disciplines in themselves. That's what they are. I guess they're not called minor arcana. I think they're just called arcanas now. But I have 5 new psychic disciplines on top of being able to take psychers to give psychic disciplines. I can't make all of my characters psychers now, but I can make them all. I can give them all arcanas, which are great psychic disciplines in themselves. Other factions, some other factions lost some of their special units. I gained a special unit. I didn't lose any special units. I got a new one. I got a new psyker. It's a Prospering Sorcerer is what it's called, and he like throws fireballs more effectively than other psychers. It's really cool. He just like throws psychic weapons out. So yeah, I gained a lot as a Thousand Suns player, and a lot of interesting and like flavorful additions to the game, and I'm really excited to try stuff out. Siphon guys charge you if you get too close. Oh, cool. So if you move in too close, would you want to do that with Solar Ox? Oh, I guess. Okay, Velatari with axes, right? Is that where it is? Who moves close to the Velatari with axes, though? Huh, that's a weird one. Because bandits are pretty bad now. From what bandits don't give you +1 strength anymore. They're just AP 5, which is worthless against everybody except militia. I have to make a new legion. Yeah. You could take psychers in the other legions and they can throw fireballs at people. I can just do more of it, and I have a dude that makes them better. I want to say more better, but it's just like quote Charlie Kelly, but AP5 bandits is so bad. Why? What is the point in that? +1 strength to bandits was great, and I think I think chain bandits just give you shred 6 up, like chain swords do. So chain bandits aren't really any good either. But people were concerned. Okay. Okay, so one of the concerns people had was that you can't give tactical squads chain swords. Okay, legitimate complaint. Except chain swords and chain bayonets do the exact same thing now. They're shred 6 up. You don't get an extra attack for having a pistol and a chain sword. So there is 100% no difference between having a chain bayonet and a chain sword. So if you pay for the chain bayonet and your models have chain swords, you're good, right? Am I crazy in thinking that if they're the same thing, you can just model your dudes with a chain sword and it's a chain bayonet? That's how that works, right? Like it's all the same. So it doesn't hurt anybody. We all know what you get. You still have the 1 attack as a tactical marine, and you get the and you get shred 6 up. You get 2 damage on a 6 to wound. That's all. Yeah, it's bandits got really bad, which is unfortunate. Bandits are really nice to have. They are like a nice choice of an upgrade in 2nd edition. It's like the +1 strength wasn't everything, but are they AP5? Yeah, just why militia? Why you gotta pick on militia like that? I want to know how they're gonna make militia cheaper than 4 points. if the most elite humans that the Imperium has to offer are 4 points per model in the Solar Auxilia, where do you go from there with militia? Someone was saying in our we were talking about earlier, and someone was saying that just give them like return to battle on a 4-up or something, or like they constantly recycle into battle. You know, you pay 4 points per model, but if they die, they just come back the next turn. Okay, I don't even know if that's worth it, but like, I don't know where you go from there. The designers obviously aren't scared of making 2-point models, because they did that in 2.0. The militia levies were 2-point models, but like, you need the regular infantry to be worse than the Solar Auxilia, and then the militia levy to be worse than that. How do you do that? You just make them squads of 20 and just say, hey, it's 30 points. But you can't add minis, and like, you only get so many of them. They're all just expendable 4 or something, so your opponent never scores points for killing them. That sounds good. I don't know. I'm excited to try militia. I'm curious how militia is going to work. What would their gambit be? Just like kneel down, like get in the fetal position and die. That's their gambit. I don't know if you guys read the Latara Surin, is that her name? The World Eaters? Yeah, the Night Lord's Gambit is definitely the best. Yeah, I agree. Except for Magnus. Magnus has the best gambit because he has divination. I'm going on the revenge tour with Magnus in 3.0. I'm just gonna duel every Primarch and kill him. But no, the Night Lord's one. The best utility out of anybody is the Night Lord's Gambit. With like Kurds, and you just say no thanks, and then you just go and you destroy the entire squad around the other Primarch or something. Latara Surin has a unique reaction. So she's just like a person. She doesn't have any great rules. I don't even know if she has like a power sword or anything. She might have a power sword. But she's terrible. She doesn't do any, which is how she should be, right? But she's got a mini. So she just has a reaction. And the reaction costs 3 reaction points. And I don't know of any other reactions that cost more than 1 yet. But hers costs 3. So it's like your entire army's turn of reaction allotment. And she calls down an orbital bombardment from the flagship, from Angron's flagship, which I can't remember the name of. It just like wrecks something that like moves close to her or whatever. That's her reaction, which is awesome. I don't know if it's once per, it might be once per game. Or that's not once per game. That'd be so funny. Just doing that every turn. She just stands still and just calling down orbital bombardments. And what's funny too is the orbital bombardments in like older 40k editions never, the Conqueror, that's right, they never seemed like that insane. But this one actually seems really good. Hold on, let's see if we can find her here. Okay, Latara Surin. What does she have? She has a service pistol, a fleet service. She's got a strength 3, 1 damage pistol. She literally has a las pistol. And okay, she has an AP2 power sword. She's got 2 attacks. Okay, it's not doing much. Okay, so the orbital bombardment she calls down is it's a 24-inch range. It's a it's a movement reaction. So someone comes within 24 inches of her. She calls down this reaction. It's like at the start of the turn. It's 1 shot, strength 10, AP 3, it's breaching 5 up. So 5 up, it's AP 2. Damage 3. It's a 7-inch blast. And it's barrage 2. Okay, so it scatters 2 dice. So she can put it out of line of sight. That's what it looks like. No, it has to be in line of sight for her to place it. Why is it barrage 2 then? Okay, it scatters 2 dice. She doesn't do the hit roll. That's what it is. Yeah, wild. A 7-inch blast coming down at strength 10 with 3 damage is so cool. Upgrade for the is that the Imperial Fist Captains? Yeah, the orbital bombardment. That's a historical thing with like Space Marine armies having orbital bombardments though. Like I remember in 5th edition 40k, you had captains and you had chapter masters, right? And they had the exact same stats, and I think for the most part they had the same gear. I think there was maybe one difference. I think the chapter master get like one different piece of gear, but the difference, they had like a 25-point difference in models, and the 25 points for the chapter master was you got a once per game orbital bombardment. It was a 5-inch template, like within line of sight. It was AP2 strength 10 or whatever, and it was just that template. That's what it was. And I don't know, me and my friends never could figure out if it was worth it or not to take, but yeah, it's a, excuse me, they've done stuff like, I think 4th edition was the Force Commander, and the Force Commander had the orbital bombardment. They always, yeah, it was just a thing that captains had, and they finally took it out, yeah, put it as like a enhancements, or what do you call them, warlord traits or something that they would give them. Yeah, it was never very good. When you take out blast templates, it hurts them too, because you're throwing like D6 hits, like that's lame. You know, it's probably the same probability to get a good hit, but no fun. No fun not having templates to throw at people. Giant pie plates. Yeah, well, I'm excited for the 3rd edition of Heresy. And I am more than happy if you guys weren't too argumentative, so that's cool. I don't know if I wasn't conducive to that or not, but I feel like there are corners of the internet where people freak out too much. I don't think you guys in general that are here are that type of person. So, like I said, this is geriatric Twitch, so you know the old people are a little more level-headed maybe. But yeah, Josh, when you start putting out battle reports, new edition, I'll watch them. Get a good Thousand Suns battle report so we can see it. That'd be cool. Or Night Lords. Night Lords would be cool too. Go off the cool Gambit and like they're yeah, they just like all have fear and stuff. They seem cool. Night Lords seem really cool. But I think I'm gonna call it there for the night. I've been talking a lot today. And yeah, you got scars. That's right. Yeah, you're really playing hard mode, aren't you? Gold and white scars. Are you okay? Josh, answer a question for me here. How much are you like putting your hope into the legacy PDF? Is that like you got like everything into like give me characters on bikes? Or are you just planning on like characters on foot and jump pack and like not even bothering? What is it? I don't know. Scale of 1 to like 65 or something. Yeah, we're gonna go crash the bunker. Yeah. I'm gonna crash out, man. Yeah, Eoraptor, great to have you here. Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, the info dump. This is what I do every day at this point. Pay 30 points again. Yes. There we go. See, guys, follow Josh's example. This is what you do. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. That's awesome. All right, sweet. That's the answer I want to hear right there. They don't. Yeah. This was day 1 we were talking about this. Like, guys, just pay for the war gear and play the game. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, all right. Guys, thanks for coming to hang out. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the subs and the follows. Josh, thank you for the sub, and thank you for answering questions. That was awesome. We just had you here answering like all of the burning questions that I had about Auxilia stuff, and I'm pumped. So thank you, and yeah, it was great having you in here and chatting with you. And guys, I will see you Tuesday. I think Tuesday's gonna be a little earlier stream. It's gonna be a short stream, but I will see you guys on Tuesday morning, and we'll be painting some more Leagues of Votan. I finally have the proper colors. Thank you to Zendril for bringing me some paints because it was out of stock where I was. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all on Tuesday. Good night, everybody.